Aloha. So I'm sitting here with my little doggie. She's resting. We climbed up here to the Kachina over here in at Boynton Canyon. And so I was meditating and asking Spirit, like, am I supposed to say something here? Do I need to make a video? Or am I here just solely for myself? And they said both. So I'm here for both. I had an interesting thing shown to me. So I know the four archetypes that I am embodying and I work with they're supporting me on my spiritual journey, my ascension journey. So before when I came here 2 years ago, I astraled actually out. I was sitting over here and I astraled out, went across the way into the rocks over there, to the plateau over there, and there was like a temple. Now it could be an etheric temple in a higher dimension, we don't know. But I went in there. It was almost like it was an initiation temple. Maybe it was just for me. I don't know. But it was almost like I was being initiated and also brought to awareness what archetypes are supporting me, right? So I have Isis. I knew Isis was one, but then I realized I had Freya. I had Spider Woman from the Navajo tradition, and I also have Mother Mary. And just a little bit ago, I was like, why are they showing me a compass? So my north, I have Freya in my north. And then to my east, I have Mother Mary. To my south, I have Spider Woman, Spider Mother, whatever. And then to my west, I have Isis, right? That actually makes a lot of sense because in the north are the Nordics, right? In the north, oh God, I thought made me nervous. I didn't want my little girl to fall out of her thing. She was moving around, so I didn't want her to fall because we are kind of on a ledge here. But I'm gonna hold on to her bag. So it's a backpack actually. The Nordics in the north, Freya's in the north. To the east, the Middle East is Mother Mary. To the south is the Navajo, the Spider Woman. To the west is Isis. And to the west, meaning Isis, this was the first Egypt. The first Egypt was here in the Grand Canyon and Sedona. So they were both kind of spread out a little bit, but they were both in this area. And they made temples within the rocks here or around the rocks in Sedona and in Grand Canyon. And so why do you think they call some formation in the Grand Canyon the Isis Temple and Osiris? And there's even a rock formation out here that looks like a mini Sphinx. So you have to know where to look. But I was shown that when I first came here, when I went on a tour. So that breeze feels nice. It's in the 70s, but it feels 10 degrees hotter. So I thought that was really interesting. So my north is Freya. So she said to me 2 years ago when I had this experience, Freya she's like, you have my sword. And then Isis said, you have my magic. And then the Spider Woman said, you have my medicine. Mother Mary said, you have my mother. You have the mother energy, the mother love, right? The mother God. Sophia codes. So I was like, wow, that was such a cool experience. And the reason kind of why I think I'm talking about this is because they say disclosure is coming at hand about extraterrestrials. And I feel like this might be an attempt to... We don't know what's coming. We don't really know if this is going to be in our favor or against us. But I kind of feel like there might be a mix of energies with this. I gotta give her some water. Hold on. There you go, girl. Okay. So the Catholic Church and Christianity, they put into a lot of people's heads that extraterrestrials are demons. And some of them very might well be demons. But they're not all demons. Some of them are angelic. I believe the angels that appeared in the Bible that they talk about, that appeared to people beings back then, they could have been Palladians. They could have been Arcturians. They could have very well been angels. But they are higher dimensional beings. And many of us have been having contact with them and talking with them and channeling them. And want some more? There you go, girl. Yeah. You all done? Are you all done? Okay, sorry. So, a lot of us have learned to use discernment. Those of us who have been awake for a long time and have learned to hone our psychic skills, and we understand where we have our feelers out. We know which is dark, we know which is light. But if you're new at this and you don't know how to decipher what is fooling you and what is real, then you really should not be speaking publicly, because, and I'm going to say this quite firmly, because if you are awakening in the last 5 years and you still, I would say even I'd say the last 5 years, and you're channeling information from beings that actually may not have our best intention and your best intention. You could be channeling in wrong information. You could be channeling, sometimes the dark can disguise as light, and I've actually had experiences with that. And you really need to pay attention to the focus of what they're saying. Is it fear-based? Number one. Is the message fear-based? If that's the message, it's false. If the words they're saying is fear and all about destruction, all about like, oh, we're going to suffer, all of that, and it's all about, putting fear into people's hearts and minds, you're not listening to the light. You're listening to the dark. Beings of the light come in at a more of a neutral. They're aware of some disasters that may happen, but they come in with more of a neutral energy and conversation, because they understand what we are going through. They understand what's happening, but they understand also that we are coming in through karmic lessons. The earth is going through a karmic cycle right now, and we are getting deep into it. And this is where everything is coming to light. What are we going to take with that? Are we going to learn from our past experiences, or are we going to keep repeating the same shit over and over again? We're at a precipice, okay? And religion no longer is helping people. It's no longer holding people valid to answers of the universe. Our intelligence is heightening. We're becoming more enlightened. We're seeing things beyond the fabric of this reality. We're having vivid dreams of other lifetimes, and even lifetimes and experiences on different planets or dimensions and realms, parallel realities. Many people are having all these thoughts about what is happening. Why am I experiencing these things? Because they're having an awakening that this 3D world, this is all code. Even our universe is made out of code. It's divine code, right? And it's by the Creator. But this reality is the lowest dimension we've ever made possible to incarnate in. And so we're in the densest experience here, where there's duality of light and dark, a separation from source, confusion, illusion. Especially now we're in the fourth dimension collectively, so therefore, and I spoke about this months ago, I was actually in the same area over here, that we are in the fourth dimension. We are in illusions. Yes, truths will be revealed, but there will be illusions around it, because this is kind of like people awakening to their perception of what is real and what isn't. But here's the tricky part, okay? This is where you really have to hone in on what is real and what isn't, right? The heart, okay? The heart chakra, if your heart chakra is closed, if you're operating from the ego mind, not your higher mind, which is connected to the higher heart, if you're operating from the ego, you will not be driven by the right perception. The perception of the higher dimension, the fifth and above, is guided by the heart coherence, guided by measuring of the heart, okay? And healing your trauma is the way to opening the heart, okay? So, and I know I've talked about this a lot of times, but I truly believe the thing is, like, when people first awaken, they're not healed most of the time. They get an awakening, oh, I'm going down the rabbit hole, but they have healing within themselves they need to do after they awaken, because it's all part of the process. So you really should not be putting content out if you're not experienced. I would say beyond 5 years. And a lot of those people I don't listen to. I don't even take, because a lot of it is fear-based. A lot of it is confusion. A lot of it is misleading to the public. So anyways, that's my stance. If I know that you haven't been awakened for more than 5 years, I will not listen to you. I listen to my own higher self. I barely listen to anyone else's. Very, very, very few people that I actually listen to regularly on social media. And I can name them. So, Elizabeth April, Rion de Rowan, and Eldora and Simone. Okay. Who else? Oh, I know there's one more. Oh, Ishmael Perez sometimes. Yeah, that's about it. That's about all who I really listen to as far as when it comes to disclosure and channeling. Um, oh, maybe Dolores Cannon and some of her stuff, but um, I don't watch a lot of her stuff. I don't agree with everything, but that's okay. People have that's another thing I want to touch is opinions. Okay. Now, right now, I'm stating my perspective, my opinion, right? Which I have every validated right to do that. Okay. So does everybody has the right to have an opinion. Okay. But do not push your opinion on others. Now, here I am, I'm talking about people, other people saying, hey, I only listen to a few people. And that's for a reason, because the more people you listen to, the more confused you will be. You really need to discern who you connect with the most, your inner truth, heart connection, higher heart, higher mind. In regards to, David Wilcock, I used to listen to him every once in a while. I knew he was struggling, and I do not believe he went into witness protection or anything. He did take his own life, but not by his own hand. He had direct energy weapon directed at him multiple times, and finally he couldn't take it anymore. I was actually sensing this in the last couple of videos that I watched of him, and I was really concerned. So those of us in the spiritual community really need to watch out for one another. Be careful of what we're sharing online. Really reach out. If you're struggling, you need to reach out to people, and which he was doing. I know from other people that I know, through the grapevine here in Sedona, I know people who know him, or know people who know people who know him. And he had been reaching out to people. And when you put yourself in the middle of nowhere, like he was, he was kind of at risk, and he's okay now. He's doing great. He's having the time of his life, I bet. Right now, he's going to help us on the other side, and we will meet him in the fifth dimension 100%. I've had visions of him coming out of his spaceship, actually, and saying, hi, everybody. I'm actually doing okay. Once we get up there, collectively, when we ascend. And many people, that's another thing, many people have all these ideas of, how the ascension is going to take place. And I have always seen a great flash of light, and it will hit the pineal gland of almost everybody on this planet, okay? They're going to have memories they're going to remember who they are. They're going to remember who they came with. They're going to remember, why they're here. And that is where we decipher what we do next, okay? And who we connect with next, where we go next. The lower people that are in the satanic worship and controlling and inciting fear on humanity and doing all these awful things, they're not going to be here. Okay? They're going to be wiped out of our reality, almost like a code comes in and goes. Think of it as a game, a code coming into a game reality, and there's almost like a griefer, but it's not going to be a griefer. It's going to be plasma light. that comes in and puts in all these codes of like, because here's the thing, when the asteroid Apophis in 2029 passes between the sun and the earth at 20,000 miles from earth, not that far, you'll see, you Google it and they'll say, oh, there's no fear, there's nothing to worry about, it's not going to impact earth. But 20,000 miles is really close in space. That is really, really close. So it's going to come between the earth and the sun. What's going to happen? It's going to pull the magnetic field of the earth and just wrap around the planet. I have seen this visual many times. And it's just going to wrap around the planet. And that's when everything changes. There will be people who will be confused. There will be people who will be not sure what just happened. And they will need us as leaders and guiders. Guiders. That's not a word. Leaders and guides. We really have to know our shit. Okay? You really have to be ready for this event. We have 3 years. That's it. That's all the time we have left until this event happens. And it's going to happen in April, exactly 3 years from now. And our whole world is going to change. It's going to be beautiful. And we're not going to have any fear in our hearts. We're not going to have any fear. We're going to have unity. We're going to be excited. We're going to be celebrating. We're going to be coming together because we're going to be feeling a huge relief of release. That now this world can be healed. Now this world can start anew with new codes. Anyways, I'm going on 22 minutes. Trying to see if there's anything else I need to say here. Oh yeah, they just said disclosure. Okay, when it comes about disclosure in a couple months, so I feel like it's going to be linked to Steven Spielberg's movie that's coming out in June, and a lot of people are going to use this as a base, but it's not going to be entirely, okay, they're saying it's fabricated. A lot of it is going to be fabricated, and that's to put us, those who are awake, in a position where they're crazy, they're telling lies, they're channeling demons and all this stuff. And so I just want to put this message out forth and say that is not the truth. That is not the truth. Okay? You feel it in your heart. Okay? I have had nothing but amazing, beautiful experiences since my awakening. Everything divinely working out. I'm fully supported. And I'm loved by God. I love myself. I love the community that I'm in. I love my friends. They're my family. Well, my soul family. And I've been so blessed. I've been so blessed here in this experience. And I don't have any fear. I have no fear. Like, sometimes I get a little worried about the future, and I get a little sad about what I see that's going on, and I'm like, the best is coming. We need to care for those suffering, pray for those suffering. Okay. If you can donate. If you can help a neighbor, help a neighbor. Or even an animal. She's a rescue. I think she needs water. So I'm going to go. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. I need to attend to my dog, and we're going to keep, oh my goodness, we're going to keep going on this adventure here today. Love you all. Peace. Stay strong, light workers. Stay strong, my family. We got this.